Has Lex Luthor finally concocted a plan that will best the Man of Steel? Well, let's hop into the pages of Superman Man of Tomorrow issue number 5 and find out together, shall we? So, as the comic opens up, Superman is in a big old fight with Titano, aka that Superman villain who is also a giant kaiju-sized gorilla. Seriously, why are there not like a million more stories about this character? Superman has an uphill battle on his hands and as such does everything in his power to try and minimize collateral damage and the loss of life as best he can. Superman tanks a particularly nasty hit from the souped-up simian, at which time we see Lex Luthor has actually been watching this fight the whole time, but not in his regular creepy supervillain voyeur kind of way. You see, Luthor is choosing right now to spring a plan that he's been working on for a while, a brand new LexCorp security system that protects the entirety of Metropolis. Basically, there's a bunch of security cameras on every street corner, and whenever they detect supervillain activity, they also turn into giant laser guns. It's left a little open-ended as to whether or not those lasers are lethal, but they certainly can't feel good, that's for sure. It seems that Luthor had cut some secret backroom deal to get these devices installed, and Perry is absolutely livid, not the worst of which because the planet missed out on the exclusive of this story. But, you know, also all of the other horrible Big Brother implications of turning over safety in the city to some crazy billionaire to let him do whatever he wants with murder robots. It's for all these reasons and more, Perry decides to turn loose his top talent. Yeah, that's right, Clark and Lois to get to the bottom of this. After all, this is Luthor they're dealing with, so surely there must be something illegal at the bottom of this and not just something highly uncomfortable. Clark, forever the optimist and always thinking of the very best in people's, wondered to himself, well, maybe this is a good thing. Maybe it means that Luthor has truly changed, right? No, that can't possibly be it. In fact, there comes a point when Clark even starts to think to himself, is it bias of him as a journalist and a superhero to try and poke holes into this Luthor story? Luckily, Lois is there to smack him back to reality. The two buckle down for a few weeks to really try and get to the bottom of this story, but to their surprise, there seems to be no bottom to this. It's exactly what it is. The final straw, though, comes when the prankster, longtime Superman villain, actually gets busted in Central City by the Flash. It would seem that the writing is most definitely on the wall right now. If you want to make it as a super criminal, you can't make it in Metropolis, not with these super cameras on every corner. It's in this moment we see Superman more dejected than maybe we've ever seen him in a very long time. This idea that Luthor may very well have finally beat him, not with some kind of doomsday device, but just by making Superman unnecessary in Metropolis. Oh, but things are never simple as they seem, are they? When Superman goes out to lunch later that day, he sees a Dine and Dasher end up getting the exact same treatment as any of the super criminals from the new cameras. Friggin' AI theory, am I right? It's always such a crapshoot. It seems that these security AIs paint all crime with the exact same brush. Clark, being the definition of a hero even when he's not really in costume, decides to step on in and try and protect this dude from getting flash fried. He takes the hit for him, which could very well reveal that he's Superman if he's not careful as the comic ends. And so that was Superman Man of Tomorrow issue number 5, and as you may have noticed, unlike a lot of these other Robert Venditti stories that have been one and done so far, this one actually kicks off an actual story arc. And what an interesting premise for a Superman story. It gets brought up all the time, this idea that Luthor is definitely smart enough and well connected enough to stop all crime in Metropolis if he actually wanted to. The only problem is he never wanted to. Now, though, out of the blue, he seems to have put together some sort of master plan, but is that because he has some sort of good feeling deep in his heart? Probably not, but I guess we'll have to read more to find out, won't we? You know, all these DC Digital series have been different degrees of pretty good, but I think Robert Venditti has really put in some of his best work ever here writing Superman, and I'm really interested to see where this story is going to go from here, which is why I give it an 8.5 out of 10.
Hey there everyone, it's your old pal Cape Jewel, and if you're seeing me right now, that means you watched to the end of the video, which I am very appreciative of. It really helps drive engagement and retention and all that other good YouTube stuff. So does liking and commenting. Wink wink. If you like my content too, you should check out my Patreon page. We just redid all the tiers, so there's a ton of great rewards. You can become a patron for as little as $1 a month, and well, it would just really help me out. It's never expected, but always appreciated. So until next time everyone, I've been Cape Joel, and I will see you next time. Bye-bye.